Okay, so we are embarking on the fourth method for factoring. So we have done GCF, we have done grouping, we have done Mrs. Silva's box 1, and now, as you can see, we are doing Mrs. Silva's box 2. This is when we actually have a number before there that's not 1. So if you remember all the times we've been doing it, there's always a 1 there. Well, now if you see right here, there's a 6 there, and over here there's a 6, and at the bottom there's a 9 and a 4. So that's when box 2 is going to be helpful. So we start off filling out a box. It's slightly different, but similar as well. So you are still going to set it up with what plus what equals and what times what equals. And, wait. What the heck is going on here? I think I did something wrong. Hang on one second. Okay, so yes, there's definitely an issue here. I wrote these in wrong. So can you guys make sure to change this? Hopefully you have a whiteout like I do. And you are going to put what plus what equals B and AC. So those should have been flipped around. So in other words, it's this top one's the same. What plus what equals whatever's here before the X. But then the what times what isn't just the C. You have to multiply it by the A. The A used to be a 1. So 1 times the C would be the C. Well, now we're dealing with a situation where there's this. So this isn't it. You don't just get to just do a box and be done like box 1, but it's the start of it. Okay, we're going to fill this box in properly, and then we're going to rewrite our quadratic equation, taking this out, this middle term, and we're going to replace it with the 2 number terms that are in here. Then we're going to use grouping, which you did 2 days ago. So let's get started. One thing at a time, okay? When there's multiple steps, you can do it. You just got to stay calm, take a breath, one thing at a time. So what plus what equals 11? And what times what equals, and again, we're multiplying those. 6 times 3 is 18. All right, so think about that. Can you guys think for 30 seconds here or so, and what could that be? I'm hoping you are saying 2 and 9, because 2 times 9 is indeed 18, and 2 times 9 is, 2 plus 9 is 11. We are still done with those, so you can cross them off. But now we are on step 2 right here. We're going to rewrite the quadratic. So the first term, you write down 6x squared plus. But this second term right here, we're going to remove that out, and we're going to replace it with 2x and 9x. Okay, because what's 2x plus 9x? 11x. So I'm not changing it, I'm changing the way it looks. Okay, so I put those 2 in place of that. Now I write the last term, plus 3. First question, I know you guys are asking, could you have put the 9x and the 2x? Yes. So the order you put those in doesn't matter. You just are going to add an x to each of them, or whatever variable it happens to be, and put them in there. Next step is now we group. So now, as long as you know how to group, it's the same from there. So we'll put parentheses around the first 2 and the last 2. Then we go ahead and do GCF on this one. So when you have 6x squared and 2x, we're thinking, what can we take out of the 6 and the 2? And that would be a 2. X squared and x, we can take out an x. And now we have to figure out what's left. 6 divided by 2 is 3. X squared, and you took 1x out, we have 1x left. 2x, oh look it, we took the whole thing out here. So we don't put a 0, we put a 1. There's always something there. Plus, put your plus sign, 9x plus 3, what can we take out of both of those? we can take a 3. 9 divided by 3 is 3x. We can't take the x because this one didn't have an x. We took the whole 3 out, so what's left? A 1. All right, we take a look at these bigger looking terms here, and we see that we have the same thing. Good, so that comes out front, 3x plus 1. Cross them off, and then we go back in and we see what do we have left. We have 2x plus 3. Done. So it's not super horrible, but again, it's a process. You got to know the process. So let's first see if you can fill in the right numbers on the box. So go ahead and put the numbers in over here on the box. All right. Hopefully you picked 11 and 24, because 9 times 4 is 24. Now you got to think of it. Think of things that multiply to give you 24 where they add to give you 11. If you're stuck, start your list. Any of those add up to 11? 3 and 8. What do I do now? Cross these off so I don't get them mixed up. I'm not going to use those. I'm now going to rewrite this, and what am I going to take out? I'm going to take out this middle term and replace with 3x and 8x. 3x and 8x. So 6x squared plus 3x plus 8x. And then put the last term, plus 4. 1, 2, 3, 4 terms makes it perfect for grouping. Parentheses and parentheses. Again, you're looking in the first one, you're looking for a GCF. So 6 and 3, we can take a 3 out for sure. X squared and x, we can take an x out. So 6 divided by 3 is 2. And if you had an x squared and you pulled out an x, you have an x. Plus. Oh, what happened? I took the whole 3x out. What do we put there? 1. 8x plus 4, I can take a 4 out. Can you take an x out? No, it doesn't have an x over here. So 8 divided by 4 is 2. The x is still there. Plus 4 divided by 4, the whole thing went over there, so I leave a 1. What do you notice? Got the same thing. It's just lovely. Take that out then. Cross it off and see what is left. All right, now you get to set up your box. So what plus what equals what, and what times what equals what. I'll set this one up at the same time. Okay, so did you put your numbers in here? Should have a negative 15, and then you should also have 36. Okay, numbers that multiply to give you 36. 1, 36, 2 and 18, 3 and 12. Oh, does 3 and 12 work? Let's try it. We got a negative, so it may or may not. How are we going to get a negative 15? Well, they both would have to be negative. So if they're both negative, oh, it would be a positive. That is going to work. See, sometimes we can try it because you think it should work, but with the signs it doesn't. Cross that off. I'm going to now replace this middle term with negative 3x and negative 12x. So 9x squared minus 3x plus a negative 12x plus 4. And you could put plus negative 3x here too if you want. That's fine. Group. If there is ever a subtraction here, just push the subtraction in with that and leave it a plus. Now, what can you factor out of a 9 and a 3? Take a 3 out. How about out of an x squared and an x? You can take one x out. So you're left with 3x. Boy, I took out the 3 and the x, but I still have that negative there. So it's going to be either a subtract 1 or a plus a negative 1, whatever way you want to write it. We got a negative 12 and a positive 4. So I'm going to take out the negative here because I notice that this is supposed to be a positive. So if I take out a negative 4, what do you have left here? 3x. And if this was a positive, I'm going to end up with a negative 1 there. I'm dividing it by a negative 4. 4 divided by a negative 4 is a negative 1. There's our two big things there. And we notice that those are the same. So I have 3x minus 1 times, what's left? 3x plus a negative 4, which is the same as 3x minus 4. All right, at some point, I know there's another page of extra practice, but you guys could try this one on your own. Stop the video and see if you can do it. If not, let's keep trucking. So I'll give you a second to either stop it or fill in the box at least. There's never a variable here, so do not put negative n up here. No way. There's a 1. Negative 1 and negative 3 times 4, negative 12. Watch your signs. When there's a subtraction, that's attached to the number after it. So we got 1, 12, 2, 6, 3, 4. Any of those give you a difference of 1? Let's see how we can make that work now. 3 and 4. I got to get a negative here, so one of these has to be negative. And that's got to be a negative. So which one would be the negative? Does that work? It does. Sometimes you have to double check it. Cross off and rewrite. 4n squared, I'm going to remove this and replace it with this. Oh, it's an n. I put x. And then write the last term. Box it. We can take out no number, 4 and 3, there's no factor, but we do have an n. So I'm going to take that out, and I'm left with 4n plus 3. Plus, we're really close here, but this negative is a problem. So I'm going to take out the negative 1. And then that just changes the sign on both of them. We have our two big things there. Luckily, they're the same. So I'm going to take the 4n plus 3 out front, cross it off, and see what we have left. N plus a negative 1, or just n minus 1. Okay, So one option would be you guys could also just stop and try these other ones on your own. I'm going to work through them, and then you could restart this up if you needed to. But I am going to work through these so that you can see them explained if you need. All right. What plus what equals what? What times what? Equals what? I'm just going to set these all up. What plus what equals what? What times what equals what? What plus what equals what? What times what equals what? What plus what equals what? What times what equals what? All right. You can always stop, pause, rewind. Okay? All right. So 17 goes in here and 30 goes in here. All right, so think of factors of 30. 1 and 30, 2 and 15. Oh, there it is. 2 plus 15 is 17. So 2 and 15, put those in there. Cross this off. Now I'm going to rewrite the equation 6x squared, but I'm going to replace the 17x with 2x plus 15x plus the last term. Again, if you wrote these the other direction, it's not wrong. You're going to end up with the final answer being the same if you do it right. It just is going to look a little different on the way. The trip will be a little different. All right, so go ahead and group and then do GCF. So I can take out a 2, I can take out an x, so we're left with 3x plus 1. Plus, I can take out a GCF of 5, and I'm left with 3x plus 1. And again, I'm going a little faster now. So if you're still having trouble understanding how I'm doing some of these a little more specifically, go back to the beginning problems where I went a little bit slower. But I notice here that got the 3x plus 1. I'm going to take that out front, cross it off, and now I'm going to see what's left. 2x plus 5, and that is my other parenthesis, and we're done. All right, over to this one, 17 and 42. 1 and 42, 2 and 21, 3, and does 3 work? 3 goes into there. 14, yes, it does go in there. That works. 3 and 14, yes. Gone. Going to now rewrite it, taking that middle term out. So 2x squared plus 3x plus 14x plus 21. We are going to group. I can take out nothing with the 2 and the 3, but I can take out an x. So I'm left with 2x plus 3. I can't take anything out with the x, but I can take a 7 out. I see my two big groups. And I also see that my parentheses are the same. So I can take out the 2x plus 3 times what is left? X plus 7. All right, now we're here. 13 and 36. Multiples of 36, 1 and 36, 2 and 18, 3 and 12, 4 and 9. There it is. 4 and 9 give you 13. Rewrite 3x squared, take this out, put a pair of these in. Put the last term on. Time to group. I can't take anything out of 3 and 4, but the x's I can take an x out, and we're left with 3x plus 4. Can't take an x out, but I can take a 3 out. 3x plus 4. I see my two big groups here, and I notice that I have a 3x plus 4 and a 3x plus 4. So we are going to take that out front, cross that off. See now what is left, x plus 3, and put that in a parenthesis. Next, 7 and, be careful, negative 18. Multiples of 18, 1 and 18, 2 and 9. Oh, 2 and 9 could work. Let's see if 2 and 9 will work. I got to get a negative, so one of them's got to be negative, and that's got to stay positive, so that means the 2 is going to be the one that's negative. And sometimes you just have to try it if you're not seeing it as clearly. You just try one of them negative and just see. And then you might be like, oh shoot, the sign's wrong. I got to put it with the other one. Cross that off, rewrite with our other terms. I'm going to take the 7x out and put in minus 2x plus 9x in place of it, minus 3. I now shall group them. I can take out a 2 out of the 6 and the 2, and I can also take an x out. So this I can do. I'm left with a 3x minus, I took the whole 2x out, so I put a 1. 9x minus 3, I can't take any x out, but I could take a 3 out, and I'm left with 3x. And again, I took that 3 out, but I replaced it with a 1. I notice my two big terms here. And so I take the 3x minus 1 out front, because we notice they're the same. Now I see what's left, and then the red is going to, pink and the pink isn't going to work too hot there, but it does okay. 2x plus 3. So, lots of repetition, but hopefully that helped, and as we kept repeating, something there clicked. So hopefully that was helpful, and we'll see you next time. Bye.